here I am again. Please expect the cuckoo clock to sing its little heart out in about 5 minutes. It never gives us a moment's peace, but that's okay. We like it here. We're all cuckoo here. It's fine. We're talking tropes, part 3, and as you can see, we have the eyelashes paying attendance again. I thought that I would try for something of a 90s exercise look. That's sort of what we're going for, but it's sort of meshed with a clown look. So that's what we got. I'm not exercising for you guys, sorry. I may exercise or I may not once the camera is off. We'll see. But in the meantime, it gave me an excuse to use this yellow eyeshadow that I have never before in my life used. And it's such fun. Ignore the hectic colour in my cheeks. That has nothing to do with makeup. I have rosacea and it's a little bit warm in this room, so I have very bright red cheeks. Enjoy. We're going on to part 3 of tropes. This should be the last part, and then I'll probably end up talking about something else for later videos. I'll also do an author live very soon. I didn't want to do it too soon because I know there are some of you still finishing between decisions, and I don't want to be giving too many spoilers for those of you who haven't finished. Also, I want people to be able to rant freely as they feel and answer those in real time, so I thought it'd be best to wait a little bit. So on to part 3 of tropes. First of all, we're talking about action mums or action mums while still pregnant. Now, I love action mums. It's one of my favorite things. You guys know I love watching action, and when there's a female-led action, whether it's movie or whether it is, what do we call it, series, we don't call it drama, we call it series, is if there's an action series with a female main lead, especially if that, yep, there we go, especially if that female lead is a mother, I love it. I'm there. It's a completely different vibe to the action vibe you get from a male-led action in general, and I'm completely here for it. So action mums, love it. Absolutely love it. I already feel like being a mother is a superpower. I'm not a mother, but I'm a daughter, and also I'm an aunt, and my dudes, I have seen how hard it is to look after these little gremlins, and even when they're lovely, they're doing stuff that will get themselves killed. Being a mum is already being an action hero, in my opinion. I don't so much love action pregnant women. This is mostly because I'm an extremely anxious person, and I already know how dangerous pregnancy is for both the mother and the child when you're doing just normal things and trying to be a normal person. Being pregnant is basically a superpower. You're making a human inside you. You don't need to be more super than that for me. I prefer not to see action figures that are pregnant because it's, okay, first of all, it takes away the realistic, any sense of realism you can have when dealing with a lot of the action movies and books around. It takes away that much needed anchor in reality that being pregnant is a delicate, in most cases, and a dangerous art form, and that either you or your baby can die at a single kick or a single punch, and that makes me so anxious. It makes me anxious, and it takes away that grounding of reality in the trope that I need to be able to consider action as an enjoyable thing to watch and react to. So yeah, action pregnant, not so much. I know there are people who love it, and good on you. Even if it's in fantasy or urban fantasy where there is some reason to believe that you'll be safer and be okay running around doing stuff while pregnant, I can see how that can work, but for me it's not such a comfortable trope, so not a great lover. But yes, please give me all the action mums. Give me all the action females in general of all different kinds. There does seem to be slightly more variety in types of character when it comes to female-led action, so I want to see more of it. I hope I get to see more of it. One day I'll write more of it, but I feel like Pet in The City Between is already pretty action-oriented. She's certainly not romance-oriented. We all know that. So yeah, she's my action hero at the moment. It's definitely not Isabella. She's good with a hairpin, and maybe kicking people. But apart from that, she just tries to beguile people with her charms. And I have no idea where she got that from, because it certainly wasn't from me. So that moves us on to ancient superbeing with young human, and whether that is creepy or not. For me, there's a really big spectrum here when it comes to age differences. In general, the age difference is male older, female younger. That's usually how it goes. I've seen some differences. I've seen this trope done in the Nuna way, where the female is the older one, but in general it's that way. I tend to think that the trope itself is not creepy, and hear me out here, because the idea of creepiness in a relationship of a vast difference in age is not so much the experience that the one person has, it's the experience being used to manipulate the younger person, or giving them some authority over the younger person, or anything that is likely to be able to manipulate and to change that person's mind about something, i.e. about loving them or trying to finagle them into bed or into a relationship or whatever it may be. So I don't think it is necessarily and innately creepy. I really don't, because there are old souls and there are young souls, and that's just, if you're well matching, then that's just how it goes. There are a lot of younger people who have older sort of souls, and for those people, they need somebody who's older in age. So I don't think it's innately creepy, but there's the potential for it to become creepy. So in general, I try to avoid it wherever possible, but I don't get cranky at people for using this trope. I like it when it's well done, and especially when you manage to match up your old souls and young souls with the correct age groups, and when that experience isn't being used to manipulate the other person into a relationship. Because otherwise, when does experience stop counting? Because by the time you're 80 or 90, if your body hasn't changed at all, and if you're still aging at a really, really slow rate, then at what point does your experience stop counting? Because sooner or later you can't keep growing mentally. There's an end to the things that can be seen on Earth. There's an end to the things that can be experienced. And I do think that at some point there has to be a closer matching, that experience has to stop counting for as much, because there's nothing new under the sun. That's just how it goes. So not innately creepy, can be creepy. I'm not loving it, but I don't think people should just be dismissing it as outright creepy. I object to dismissing anything outright, but that one in particular, when there are things that can be done well about it, yeah, I like to see it well done, so I don't want to dismiss it outright. So next one is male and female friendship, and when the writer thinks that has to turn into love. This is something I get really, really tired of. It kind of ruins friendships in media, and everyone's saying, we don't have more friendships in media, we need more friendships in media, and then everybody ships all the friends together. And then the creator decides, oh, well, we better do some fan service here, and we better join them together and give them romance together. This is how you end up with friendships that must turn into romance. It's something that I would like to see less of. I do admit I'd like to see more platonic friendships. That is why in the spin-off of the City Between series, the first spin-off, we're going to be concentrating primarily on platonic love or friendship love. That will be the main theme. You know, I said earlier that the City Between series focuses on varieties of different love, and I'm trying to express different kinds of love with each of the relationships. Well, in this, it's going to be friendship love / platonic love, because this is a trope that I'm getting really, really tired of. It shouldn't be a thing where every platonic relationship has to be turned into something else because men and women can't be friends. That's just ridiculous. There are a lot of people on this earth that I am not compatible with in a romantic way, and I would really, really hate to think that there is no other way in which I, as a woman, can be seen than as a potential romantic mate. I would like to be valued for my potential as a person first, and afterwards for anything else that may or may not happen, but it doesn't have to happen. So yeah, I would like less of this trope. I'm trying to contribute to less of this trope myself in my writing. I hope you guys will enjoy it in the spin-off series of City Between, because you're gonna see it. So don't be sad, don't be shipping everyone, because it's not gonna happen. I mean, some of it may happen. You'll just have to guess which ones are friendship and which ones are going to turn to romance. So yeah, good luck with that. Right, so there's a couple of joined ones here. Now, these two tropes are tropes that are seen mostly, but not completely, in Asian media rather than your standard Western media. So very much more Eastern media aligned stuff, but you do occasionally see the first in Western media as well. And those two connected ones are manhandling equaling romance, i.e. people being grabbed or spun around or forcibly kissed, or whatever it may be to force your personal presence on somebody who either hasn't given consent or hasn't shown that they're even interested in you, hasn't given any signals or anything like that. And the sort of joined topic, which is the subject of piggyback rides, wrist grabs, accidental kisses that somehow aren't bloody. And I've talked about this before on the blog, especially the last one. It's a huge thing in Western media, and especially in K-dramas, for these so-called accidental kisses to happen. And fortunately it's less found in books. Unless you count manhwa, in which case it's there as well. But in dramas especially, you will have this thing that happens where the female lead is climbing on something in ridiculously tall shoes, or she is just walking. She could be just walking, because this is such a thing. And the male lead is there, and so suddenly she has to trip over and be caught, or fall off her chair and be caught, or be knocked off her chair and be caught, and they somehow fall on the floor, and she ends up accidentally kissing him, as in their lips mush. And first, for reality's sake, please, if something like that happened, you know what would happen? You would lose your teeth and a lot of blood. It would be very gory. It would not be romantic. I'm sorry, that's just not a thing. If you want your leads to kiss, just let them kiss each other. It's okay. Kissing is okay. Kissing is fun. That's fine. Don't make me try and believe that one of them fell on top of the other and they accidentally kissed and they count that as their first kiss, because that is garbage. And the only time I've forgiven it, the only time I've thought it was remotely cute, was in Flower Boys Next Door, and that is because I love that drama, because it has Yoon Si-yoon and Park Shin-hye, and they are two of my favourite actors altogether. They're both darling and adorable, and their characters were darling and adorable, so I forgave it. I don't forgive it to anyone else. Please stop doing this. It's ridiculous. It makes your female lead literally look like a bumbling idiot, and also I don't believe that happens without losing some teeth. So if you're going to show this to me, you better show me that you've lost your two front teeth and that there is blood dripping down your face like you're in a zombie movie. Otherwise, I'm not having any of it. Please stop doing this. I don't like it. Piggyback rides isn't something that really... You don't see it in Australian fiction at all, except in the sense of Friends. It's not a romantic thing here. It's not at all. When I first saw it in a Japanese drama, I think it was, I was like, why are they behaving like this is a flirty, romantic moment? She's literally getting a piggyback ride from this bloke. That's like a normal thing that you would do if you can't walk, or even if you're just friends, just being silly. That's a normal thing. What's going on here? I don't understand. And then I learned it's a thing. And quite honestly, I still don't understand it. For Australians and for Western people in general, the romantic sort of picking up is from the front, when you pick up the lady like that. Or bloke if you're from Strong Woman to Bongsun, which is hilarious and also very, very extremely weird. So... Excuse that noise in the background. My mother got home. I was too late starting my videos, so she's preparing some dinner. Just ignore her. She's going to make dinner. I'm going to eat dinner. We'll all be happy. It's good. So yeah, piggyback ride is still not a thing with me. I don't really understand the romantic appeal. I would feel very bad for a bloke who had to carry me, because I'm not exactly light. So that's, not a thing with me either. Wrist grabs, that relates to the first trope, which is manhandling equaling romance. I would be extremely unhappy with a bloke who just grabbed me to stop me going where I was going, because I'm not a dog, I'm not a kid. You don't get to just grab me and move me where you want me to be. I'm a person, I will move where I want to go. If you want me to go somewhere, just ask like you would with a normal person, or just, be like, can you move here? Don't grab my wrist, that's not romantic, I won't like it, don't touch me, I don't like you. So that's how I feel about that. But when it comes to manhandling equaling romance, can we please stop this? Whether it's from the female to the male or the male to the female, can we please stop this? Guys, I come from an abusive relationship. Violence in a relationship is not something that is okay with me. It's not something that's going to make me feel comfortable. It's not something that makes me feel like that particular character actually likes the other character. I'm thinking more that they just want power over the other character for as long as they can have it. It's not believable as romance for me at all. That goes for forced kisses, that goes for grabbing people, that goes for pushing them up against a wall and putting your hand against them so that they can't get away. Anybody doing that sort of thing to me is going to get a knee where it hurts. And I'm sorry, but that's how it works, because that isn't romantic. It's at the very least, it's gross. At the worst, it's abusive and assault. Just don't do it. Don't let your female characters do it to the males either, because that's not cool. It's not fun. It's not romantic. I really hate it. There is a difference, and a lot of people out there have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. And so anytime they see a man taking the initiative without asking, or without literally out loud asking, can I kiss you, and kissing the female lead, or vice versa, they'll say, oh, that's sexual assault. No, there is a difference between reading the room and reading the energy and knowing that this person is at least halfway interested in you and trying your luck. There is a difference between that and literally forcing a kiss on somebody that until 10 minutes ago in the movie or in the book or in real life that you were calling names or being horrible to, or doing something to make them feel extremely uncomfortable. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. So I don't think it's necessarily wrong or creepy or horrible for someone to be the person who starts off kissing the other person. Otherwise, you're always going to be asking permission to kiss someone, which, if that's your bag, that's okay. Do what makes you comfortable. Make sure that your needs and your standards are understood by the other person. But yeah, we don't want it to descend into manhandling and that being equal with romance, because that's unhealthy. That's unhealthy for everyone. It's unhealthy for the boys who start to learn otherwise when they encounter women who haven't been taught this and who are comfortable in their own bodies and in their own personalities. And the young girls are more likely to be either assaulted or think it's okay to be assaulted, or marry somebody who is abusive. Don't teach people that. Please don't do it. Please stop. I would really like to see more healthy romances on the screen. That would be wonderful, please. And that is it for manhandling romance, piggyback rides, wrist grabs, accidental kisses, and all that jazz. Okay, so finally, and we're getting up to 20 minutes, so yay, we're going a long time again. Not like the other girls, as in she wasn't stupid, not like the other girls. Now, I'm going to be very, very honest here. I came from a place where I was very much a not like the other girls. I came by it partially, honestly, because I was a tomboy, and in a lot of ways, I was not like a lot of the other girls around me. But that was not to be conflated with the idea that I thought I was better than them. I just liked different things to what a lot of the other girls around me did, and especially the girls in my family. I was more of a tomboy. I liked being outdoors. I liked playing in the dirt. I liked guns. I liked dogs, and I liked getting very messy and mucky. And my sisters didn't so much. They were very much more Barbie girls and making perfume girls and nail polish girls. And so I came by it a bit honestly, but then in some circles you start to learn that unless you're sort of male coded, or unless you're willing or wanting to talk man talk, you're somehow considered as if you're lesser, or that your speaking is less important, or that it's less interesting because you're a female, and that's ridiculous. And so it grew into a more unhealthy type thing after that sort of thinking started to settle in. It's been many years since I've become very comfortable with being exactly who I am. And although I'm still more on the tomboyish side, I'm not afraid to wear makeup now. I don't do it a lot because I'm lazy and because I don't like washing it off, and also I'm allergic to most of it, which is why just lipstick, just eye stuff and no face stuff. That's why that happens with me. But I have started being able to do my nails, to buy pretty clothes, to wear pretty earrings, and not be afraid of looking feminine or as pretty as I want to try and look, because I'm afraid of being taken less seriously. If somebody wants to underestimate me, that's their problem, not mine. So this is a trope that I actually really, really hate. It's something that does a lot of damage. It's fine for your character to be different than other people, different to the other girls, different to the other boys. But once you start implying that difference is that your main character is clever and amazing and pure and wonderful, unlike those other girls who are stupid and slutty and this and that, that's where you have the problem. So it's fine. It's fine to be different. It's fine to like different things, but don't equate that with you being a more morally upright or a more intelligent person because you like male-coded things, or because your character likes male-coded things and doesn't like female-coded things, or because they like this and don't like that. That's damaging thinking. That makes people think, whether they're female or male, that tends to make people think that feminine is somehow lesser and masculine is somehow better. And the truth is that neither is better than the other. They both have their own good points, their own bad points, and there is a spectrum of differences along the way for what equals masculine and what equals feminine. There are major differences, but it's not going to be the same for every person. And as soon as you start telling people that people coded toward the feminine are somehow lesser than those toward the masculine, that's where you start making a problem for me and for all the other females out there, because all of a sudden we're being taken less seriously again, we're being looked down on, and our sources of entertainment are being looked down on, so less are being made. So proudly write your nice, gentle heroine, your feminine heroine, your heroine who is maybe just like the other girls but was in the right place at the right time, or, just do what you want with her. Just don't make it seem like everybody else has to be lesser to make your main character look better. That's as much as I'm asking. Don't propagate the harmful thinking that goes into the not like the other girls sort of thoughts. It would be really nice if we could stop doing that. Now, somebody asked me to talk about, in the comments of the second video, about the trope of misunderstandings, or insuperable misunderstandings, ones that are ridiculous and not really that big, but somehow because the characters don't talk about them and just decide to misunderstand, then things get blown up into huge proportions and then it becomes the main conflict. I have to say that I'm going to go against the grain in one way. I find this a very realistic trope. I've worked at supermarkets. People are petty, you guys. They are really, really petty. They don't want to listen. They don't want to hear what you say. They will happily grab at what they think you said, and they will make an entire range of mountains out of a molehill, because that's what people do. It's very realistic. It's very believable. The insuperable misunderstanding trope, for me, it is very realistic. Having said that, I hate it with the burning passion of 1,000 suns, because it's stupid. And people are stupid when they let things like this happen. It's why I hate retail so much, because that is a lot of what you get in retail is stupid misunderstandings, and some of those are between you and your boss, and some of those are between you and the customers, or you and your co-workers. There's just a lot of them, and so I don't want to see it in fiction. I hate it. Give me some reasonable misunderstandings, especially if you're telling me your characters are clever or thoughtful or kind. Don't immediately turn around and make me try and believe that, or make me try and watch them wade through the ridiculousness of an insuperable disagreement with their significant other, who is also supposed to be an intelligent, thoughtful, and very kind person. Just, yeah, please stop it. I don't like it. It's very believable, but I don't like it. So, do me this favor, please. I would appreciate that. Thank you. So that's it for tropes. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about in the next video. I will also probably not be rocking the lashes anymore because they have done their dash. But it was fun while it lasted. I mean, you might see them again. Who knows? I mean, it's the future. We don't know. In the meantime, I'm going to go and get working on Between Family. I have to finish two chapters this week. Yep, I have to finish at least 2 chapters this week, and then get a newsletter out, because I have not gotten a newsletter out in about a month, I think. Sorry about that. Yeah, the guys on Discord are always having a go at me because I say, I'm sending my newsletter out, and they're like, yeah, right, we'll see it in 2 weeks. And yeah, they're pretty much correct about that, so sorry. That's coming out. But in the meantime, let me know in the comments if there's stuff you want me to talk about. The next Author Live will be in the next 2 weeks or so. So you can look forward to that. Yeah, so pop questions down in the comments here or on Facebook or wherever you're watching this. Just let me know what you want me to talk about next time, and some questions that you might want me to talk about on the Author Live. So until then, I will see you. Bye.